Hello, dear viewers. I happily welcome you to this episode of Author Lifestyle and Book Talk Show by Eye Opener Productions. Today we have author Robert Bradley. Author Robert Bradley Jr. from Virginia, USA, is a 58 years old poet residing in Gloucester. He is a licensed clinical social worker and addiction therapist for past 30 years. His undergraduate degrees are in industrial psychology and business management with a master's in social work as well as an advanced in aging from Boston University. He has authored 16 books of poetry to date, as well as appearing in numerous anthologies and poetry magazines. He is a former Counselor of the Year in Virginia, provided counseling on 4 continents. He enjoys reading, writing poetry, and spending time with his grandson, Drew. He is the owner of Cut from Same Cloth International Select Poets. He spends much of his time with his family, which includes his dogs, Stella, Naomi, and new addition, Sarah. Come to the author lifestyle and book talk show, author Robert. It is wonderful having you here today.
Thank you for having me.
I was really honored that you accepted the invitation to be here. It means a lot to me and to the Eye Opener production team. Mr. Robert, your fan base would like to know a little childhood, teenagehood, and your adulthood. How influential was your upbringing to your writing passion?
The group that I designed, cut from the same cloth. It used to have the cover. The picture on the cover used to be my grandfather. My grandfather taught me how to write poetry. That's my mother.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my mother's father, Lonus Gibbs. I've written many pieces about him, but I started that page really as a kind of a living testimony to him, what he means to me with the values. So, to me, my upbringing was touched by that man. He was 13. I was 13 when he passed away with cancer. But his impact on me was significant. Growing up, I had a really happy childhood for the most part. We traveled a lot. My parents like to travel a lot, so culturally, I got to experience a lot of different things. And so I suppose my childhood would probably be emblematic of the times. I was born in 1965, so there was a lot of political unrest at the time. They were coming out of the Vietnam War. There was a lot of independence and women's issues and stuff. So I was really fortunate to be a part of that. So that shapes my writing. I think it gives me a kind of a grounding, I guess. You know.
That's a very beautiful answer. It's great that your grandfather taught you how to write poetry. I come from a family of poets myself. My family, we have an anthology of poems titled Wisdom and Voices. And dating back to my great grandfather, that's where our poetry began. So many of us in the family, we also write poetry. Well, I have seen you showcase your books on social media, and your book covers are absolutely mind blowing. Please launch those fantastic covers and let the viewers get a chance to know of your book titles.
Okay, sure.
Okay.
So my first book, that's my grandfather on the front of that.
Okay.
There was 100 poems in this. I'm quite proud of that book. I never thought I'd write a book, so I guess that was the significance
Well,
of
you
that
write
to be able to
you've
be called
written
author.
and 16 books is a lot.
Yeah, yeah. This is my second book, Siesta Key, my last oasis. Uh, this was a dark period of my time. I thought I was dying. I mean, I've still got quite a lot of health issues. I have a C1 injury in my neck, which if I don't have surgery, I'm either going to be paralyzed or dead. So when I went to that place, 200 poems in that book, I really didn't think I was going to live. So all the poetry in that is from that perspective.
Well, that must have a lot of enrichment, emotional enrichment.
It was very cathartic as I look back at it, but when I read it today, I can't even read it without crying. Uh, it's
Yes,
it's it's quite
that's
it's
understandable.
quite deep. Yeah, just
Yes,
quite deep.
yes, very
Uh,
good.
as a social worker, this is uh, this is kind of written from the perspective of the people that I help. are oftentimes shattered. And so the title is I Am Shattered, and there's 200 poems in this. Uh, and that's and then one of the things I think poets do is they have to have hope. And I met a young lady who's a poet, and we connected, and I ended up writing a book for 200 poems in this Princess, and just a beautiful book. And that started me on to the thought that I could maybe live. I might want to live, I guess,
Yes.
is the thing. I've also been pretty blessed as far as having publishers. One of the things that I had initially started off was I met Susan Joyner Stump, who runs Wildfire Publications, and her and I really hit it off, and she was very, very supportive. And she designed this cover for me. One of the personas I take on, it's really a literary technique. I take on different characters, different personas, if you will, and the dude is it's based on a movie, but it's basically this real casual guy, and he doesn't take life too serious. And I found that's a perfect foil for me because I do take life very serious. And so because I have that persona, I can play in that area. Whereas if I didn't create that, it would not seem natural, so to speak.
Okay.
So anyway, that's that book. Let me get up for a second. What I got going on here. So obscurity was all of my covers. I basically they were inspired by Steinbeck, uh, and so obscurity.
Well,
And then
the
again,
books
yeah,
the books are pretty huge, and I think each book has over 200 poems.
yes, yes, they are. Once you start publishing, you start coming to some truth. Okay, and one of the truths is basically takes the same amount of time to do a 100 poem book as it does a 200 poem book. And while you're in the mindset of creating, you might as well just do it. And so that hit me. I try to be efficient. I've been writing quite uh, speedily. I've got a surgery coming up. I've been trying to get a lot of my poems under books. Okay, all of my books are in hardcover because I'm a traditionalist. I just like the feel of a hard book.
Yes,
It
yes.
just feels
The
different
same
than a
here.
soft book. Yeah,
Same
it
here.
just feels different. And then another theme book was uh, Words That
Oh,
Cut.
I love this cover. I love it.
Yeah, yeah. More of a dark element. Again, as a clinical social worker working with people, I find that things that people say are very cutting. You'd be surprised some of the things I hear in session between a husband and a wife can be quite vicious. And it kind of gave me the symbolism that, words are weapons,
Yes.
Uh, this one probably is my favorite because this was about the time my dad was dying. And there's four generations of Robert Bradleys. I was the second. Dad died about, I guess, about 9 months ago. And anyway, so there was a lot of change going on. My grandson was also born. And one of the stories I tell in here is Dad somehow managed to hang on for 12 hours before he held on for 12 hours, and that Drew was born in that 12 hours, my grandson. So, and then Dad died. Then we just have the three generations. But the stories in here and the poetry reflects relationships a father has with his son, a son has with his grandson, and just the complexities of those relationships. And I just found it interesting from the perspective of my dad had a relationship with my son that was very different than mine with him, and so I tried to capture some of the emotion in this book.
That's lovely.
This one was inspired at the time. I was reading a lot of Rumi and a lot of Gilbran and a lot of Eastern traditional poetry. And so I designed the cover of this. I don't know if you can see the intricate underlaying of the letters.
Yes.
But you know, it's just and I got the temple on the back. It's just a really kind of a culturally significant book for me, the art of poetry.
Well, that's so much books. I'd like to.
I'm almost done. I'm almost done.
Right.
This was one too, Poet Junkie, and then this one here is Drunk Poetry. This is my latest, and that basically covers what I've done so far.
Okay, thank you very much for that showcase. And
Sure.
I love her so much that each time I see them, I'm always inspired to do great book cover designs. Now there's this question I'll ask you. Does your neighborhood contribute to your writing inspiration? And while you're on that, please tell us a little bit origin.
I'm from Kentucky, and I've been to Virginia now for. We moved here when I was about 18, about 17 years old. Okay, so I've been here most of my life in Virginia. The area that I'm at in Virginia, well, let's start back with Eastern Kentucky is where I'm from. If you were to look on the map, and you would see three states: Kentucky, West Virginia, and Ohio. And if you just touched right in the middle of all three of those states, that's my hometown. That's where I was born. So I was born off the Ohio River, and it was a good childhood. We moved to Virginia, and I ended up getting my college education and getting married and having a child and really putting down my roots. This will be where I'll be buried, is in Virginia one day. It's funny how you outgrow your hometown sometimes, and I think that's what I did. The people of my generation had longly have moved on, and a lot of the early family members have now died. So it's just interesting how you adopt a new place. I write with what I see and with what I feel. So the environment to me is real important. I cross the York River every morning before I go to work. And generally speaking, before I cross that bridge, a thought will hit my head as far as a poem that I'm going to do for the day. Just a thought. I'll have a thought and I'll ruminate that on the next 10-minute drive to work. And nature plays a role in that. If I'm seeing, like, a couple of weeks ago, the leaves were changing. And that was very inspiring to me to see those vibrant colors. And so that's kind of where that's what impacts my writing, I think, is nature and everything.
All right. So could you please tell us a little bit about your, well, we've said a little about your origin, but any other thing you'd like to share?
No, I just I enjoy writing. I enjoy making friends different around the world. You were very inspiring to me when we met. Many things about it. I mean, your family history of writing was intriguing. That part of the world I find fascinating. I've never been to the continent, and I hope to do that one day. I really do. I've been to Japan and I've been to England, Amsterdam, and different places, but I always wanted to be able to visit some of the places in Africa, and I hope someday to be able to visit India as well.
Of
That's
course,
fascinating.
I look forward to coming over to Virginia and visiting the US. But most importantly, I want to study in the USA, and I'm looking at Virginia, probably the University of Liberty or University of Virginia. So whichever option that comes out best. Well, Mr. Robert, if you weren't North American, which continent or country would you have loved to originate from?
You see, this is going to reveal my personality to you. I thought about this question, and I'm going to say Antarctica. And you're going to say, Antarctica? Really? And I'm going to say that. The reason I'm going to say that is because nobody else is going to pick it. And so
Okay.
inherently, I have a soft spot in my heart for things. I'm sentimental. So just because I know you're going to ask this to probably 20, 30 more poets, okay?
Yes.
And nobody's going to pick Antarctica. And I'm thinking to myself, this is how my mind works.
Antarctica.
This is how my mind works. My mind says, poor Antarctica is going to be lonely. Everybody's picked all the other continents. And so I'm going to pick Antarctica. Now, I don't know what the heck I'm going to do in Antarctica, but I'll be there, man. I'll be there. I'm going to be in Antarctica.
Special answer. We're going to pick Antarctica. Okay. As a poet and such a long time writing, what other activities do you engage in to boost your writing skills? Are you one for writing workshops? Do you do poetry events, open mics, and the like?
You know what I do? I try to keep things simple. At 58, the people that I meet that I'm interested in, and it could be a combination of things. I may like the way they write. I might like the what they stand for, what they represent. I buy their books. Okay, I buy their books and then I absorb their knowledge. Okay, and so you know, like you. Okay, I absorb books, and this is a beautiful book that you did. So I read things. Yeah,
Thank
see,
you
I
so much
read.
for showcasing my
Yeah,
book.
no, I mean, I'm just saying. I read and I get inspired,
Yes.
and that's what impacts my writing is people and feelings and emotions. That's from people. When we lose a poet, for instance, we've lost like 3 or 4 poets over the past
That
month.
was that was a very emotional moment in
And
the poetry community.
yeah. So that's heavy. That's heavy.
Yeah.
We lose somebody that's such a creative force.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, um, you're very supportive. You're always showcasing works by other poets and it's poets and authors generally, and it's really thank you. Mr. Robert, are you a fan of artwork and music?
I'm a fan of all music. All music. If it's in fact, my writing process, I'm old school now. I don't like those uh the earbuds without the connectors. I like to have the lines. So you'll see me with
Okay.
headphones on and I'm listening to something. I'm listening to something that's got to have a beat to it. And if I can get the beat, then I can establish the rhythm in my poem. So I have to be plugged in to write. And I do it in 5 minutes. Every piece I do in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Right in the moment. Yeah, I do it in
That's
the moment.
that's beautiful. I also love I music and I love listening to music while I write my poetry. Well, why don't you tell us a little about your choices of music?
It's quite eclectic. What that the probably the best question somebody can ask me about my poetry is, what were you listening to? What were you listening to when you did this?
Okay.
And I go through iterations now. I was born, like I said, in Eastern Kentucky. I've never been a huge country fan, but that's where country music was really big, especially banjos and music that is not real mainstream. Okay, so I do have a niche for that. I love a lot of modern stuff. My son, who's 32, turns me on to a lot of stuff. Radiohead, I'm into Fleet Foxes. I'm
Okay.
into, I mean, the one that comes to mind, uh, Bob Marley. There's different rhythms, man. It just depends on the mood.
Mhm.
Once I get in the mood, I try to gravitate to a niche.
Yeah.
You know,
That's understandable. Well, I really love that you also employ music. I think most writers and authors and artists love listening to music while they work because it's another form of inspiration. But we'll go on a break now and we'll be back in a bit for more interesting questions and answers with author Robert Bradley. Please stay tuned. Are you a writer who owns a YouTube channel and would like your poems made into unique poetry videos that will entertain your audience? Eye Opener Productions offers various types of poetry videos like animation, spoken words, and real life poetry videos. We also offer trailer videos to promote your debut releases. Knock our door and we'll be there to offer you professional book cover designs. Eye Opener Productions also offers book publication services of international standard. We offer website development services. Check out a few samples of our projects through the links below. www.cacgrammarschoolakure.com, www.expressyourloveforliterature.blog. We offer app creation services. Contact us at eyeopenerproductionservices@gmail.com. Eye Opener Productions, making positive changes. Welcome back. It's still your host, Elizabeth Ogunmodede, and it's time to ask our would you rather question. Let's see what our guest thinks. Okay. So I would like to throw you a rather question. Are you ready?
Yeah, shoot.
Okay. Would you rather own a charity organization or a talent scout organization that is set out to help talented individuals become the stars they ought to be?
Well, I feel like I can answer that in a very informed way. I've run many nonprofits, okay, as a chief executive officer and as an executive director. So, I've had to work with board of directors. I've had to deal with the fundraising. I've probably raised in my career maybe over $20 million for nonprofits. Okay. But different causes. Sometimes there's healthcare, sometimes it's children, different things. But here's the problem that I see is sometimes there's too many of the same type of organizations. Everybody wants to do kids work. They say they're doing kids work, but a lot of times they're not. Okay, they're doing other things. There's a lot of duplication of services, and some of the things that aren't really attractive, like homelessness, there's a real need for. So I'm going to say I would rather be a talent scout, just because I know that nonprofit administration is fraught with issues. Okay, lots of issues like board of directors and stuff. But I still give. Don't get me wrong. I still give to charity. I try to do my own charity though, based on my own information. All
right, that's a great answer for giving us your sincere answer. Okay, can you please take a few minutes to give the audience a brief overview of your lifestyle as a poet? And in the moments when poetry isn't what you're working on, what are your other engagements? Do you have pets that you take care of? Are you a sporty person? Please let us know and give us a tour of your lifestyle if you can.
Sure, I'm going to just carry this around. Okay, maybe you can see. This is this area here is.
I'm really excited that we're about to go on a live tour with the popular author.
Can you see? Can you see?
Yes, I can see. I can see that corner. Okay. Okay. It's exciting. Wow, you're showing us the view of your neighborhood.
Yeah, so this is the view.
Okay, that's lovely.
You can see. It's very inspiring.
Mr. Robert, is your neighborhood a serene environment?
No, there's really about 4 neighbors, and it's what's considered rural here in Virginia. It's off of the water. Again, it's it's something different, I guess. This is every place, everything around the house has. Everything around the house has a deck where you can kind of come out and enjoy the nature.
That's beautiful.
But there's really no neighbors, so to speak. I've got one next door, and we get along. But on the other side of the property is again, it's more of a summer house for people. So the house is get in here to the dogs, so you can kind of see where they're at. Yeah, you'll hear them. Okay, just hear that. You're going to hear the dogs. You're going to get back.
Okay, so we're back inside, and this is, oh my God, those are your dogs. They are so cute. Okay. Can you tell us which dog is Naomi and which and
Yeah,
can you hear me?
it's the
Okay.
kind of the reddish dog. Okay,
Yes.
get over here. Hey, hi, say hi.
Hello.
Hi, and here's Stella. Stella's the
Hello.
oldest one.
Oh, they are so excited to see you.
Yeah, we're competing for attention. It's Stella. Okay, and then this one here. Come on, baby. This is
Hello.
Tara. I lost my bulldog. I lost
It's
my
lovely.
bulldog of 13 years about I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 months ago. Tucker was my little bulldog, and anyway, she's the next one up. So I had to get the same breed. It's a pretty breed.
Okay. Here comes an important question. If you were to change the world with your pen, what would you write about?
Uh, I think it's the struggles that's going on in the world. There's a lot of conflict. There's a lot of there's a lot of cultural intolerance. There's a
Yes.
lot of brutality. There's a few people trying to make the rules for the many. There's so much inequality, it's not even funny. Uh, I could probably talk about this subject for years, but it's not a good time. It's a troubling time, and I feel like as a responsibility we have as writers is to highlight that, is to talk about it. So in that regard, I feel like just about anything that uh, I don't think is good, or even things I think are good, I feel it's my responsibility to talk about.
Well, thank you very much for the answer. I was wondering, you've just given us a very brilliant tour of your lifestyle, which we love. And would you like to read any poem by a contemporary author?
Sure, sure. Let me
Okay,
put
thank
this
you.
little
We'd love to hear you
heavy
read.
dog. Yeah. Uh, okay, I'm going to read from the Lycian Petals, uh, particular author that I'm kind of gravitate to, Gurjit Kaur, and Showers of Blissful Love, I think is what I'll read. Showers of blissful love, placid look, intriguing like the innocent dove, silken romantic touch, doze off through the fragrant, blissful night rare, laminating the arrival of dawn. Singing audibades in your praise, you add spark to life so dull and forlorn. Moments of wonder do more than take my breath away. Warm embraces entwine yearning hearts, love you and no one else that way. Saw dreams in your mesmerizing eyes come beyond time, touch my longing heart. Hold me in your warm embraces to set my languishing soul free. Gaze into my eyes where true love resides. How could you not see the passion and fire? Intrigued by smile on your face, sadness within those eyes saw the sunshine bright. Felt your love and pain, joy and sorrow as you touched deep into my heart and soul, so bared the innermost thoughts. Love that lasts beyond eternal dozing, all the pain to pour love so pure. Wondrous night that moved along, refreshing air filled with bliss so rare. 'Tis the moonlit tryst with my love fair. Anyway, that's by Gurjit Kaur, Lycian Petals.
That's a beautiful poem. Thank you very much for sharing. So while you've just read a poem by your favorite author, I would like to take a poem written by you. Dear, be reading a poem by author Robert,
Okay.
and it's one that you absolutely love. Renew. Traveling down the grassy path,
Mm-hmm.
shady trees. Skip a stone across the pond as I receive nature's breeze. Turtles and dogs swim on through, enjoying this front seat view. Squirrels Squirrels shimmy up a big oak tree. Everything slows down for me. Walking on crispy leaves, colored brown and red, a terrestrial crescendo of birds overhead, sunlight spying, sunlight spying on me from atop the trees, moving in rhythm to the gentle fall breeze. Thinking of your beauty, I begin to cry, a spiritual journey so I can get by. To fight the feelings of not having you by my side, I dry my eyes and steady my pride. Put my shades on above. I breathe deep and dust up the thoughts of my love. I renew and can continue with all the strive, looking for something special in this life. Wow, Author Robert is a master of poetry. Isn't that a wonderful poem? You can share your thoughts in the comment section, dear viewer. Okay, so Mr. Roberts, before we go on, I would like to ask a question. What do you think about poets organizing poetry events, coming together as a community to share their works and get to know each other better and promote poetry?
I think we're social. I think we're social beings. I think we bring out the best in each other when we're able to come and do it like it's like an ingredients in a fine stew. You know, we're all part of that stew. And I find people that used to be have difference with me. It used to be something that bothered me, and as I've gotten older, I've learned to, there's sometimes if we listen to each other intently and try to understand it from another's perspective, it's amazing what we can do as growing, and within poetry as particularly,
Okay. Well, I agree with you. And I think that coming together as poets is really important because we need to promote poetry a whole lot. Mr. Robert, before you go on the show, would you please share your handles, your social media handles for followers and the audience generally to follow you? I mean, your Instagram or Twitter or YouTube channel. The audience might want to get to follow you.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm going to probably be one of these people that is different. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. I don't really care whether I get famous. I don't really care if I make any money off my books.
Okay.
I really don't even care if people follow me or don't follow me. I'm going to keep writing because I enjoy writing. Okay, and I'm going to keep putting it in books because I enjoy having my stuff in a book.
Okay.
And if people want to be involved in that, I've got a group. I run a group, Cut from the Same Cloth. It's on Facebook. I don't do a whole lot with Instagram. Again, I'm not one of these big technology people. When I post to the general audience, I generally post to my group and then to my homepage. Okay, and then all of my books can be found on Amazon, Lulu, Barnes and Noble. Most writing establishments they can be found. Okay, so that's probably how a person would get a hold of me. Yeah.
All right. Author Rob, would you like to say something to your fan base before the show comes to an end?
No, man, just hang in there, man. The holidays are depressing for people. Hang in there. Keep writing, keep expressing, and it will get better. It will get better. That's my message.
Okay, thank you very much. This is the end of today's episode.
Thank you.
Of Lifestyle and Book Talk Show. It has been a brilliant time with author Robert Bradley, and I hope to host him sometime again. To the viewers, I say thank you for staying tuned to this. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel called Express Your Love for Literature, like and comment on our videos. I am Elizabeth or Ogunmodede, a teen author, poet, website developer, a publisher, and your host. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all around the world. Shalom.